Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. Your light can inspire people. Your light can inspire people. What do I mean by your light? Just being who you are, not necessarily like doing videos and speaking to people. It could be just a simple act of going to work every day, letting people see what you do, letting your image, your aura, your very actions speak for you. We never know. I was recently in an online seminar. I was recently at a self-improvement summit, the first virtual self-improvement summit. And I had mentioned to the men and a few women in attendance, I said, you could be that guy who has a great job in a poor neighborhood, but you're dressed well, you're doing stuff. And you might have some young man who you never speak to, but he sees you going to work every day. He sees you dressing a certain way. You never know how that's going to inspire people, because we are always looking at people. Let's just be real. For good reasons, bad reasons, general reasons, they just cut across our path. But if you're a person who works to be the best version of yourself, you work on it every single day, it's going to show in how you walk, how you hold your head, how you move around, just the aura of confidence, the aura that you're happy. If you're happy, how often have we seen some people just walking down the street and they just look happy? They just look happy. I've seen instances where they could be like some dark energy, some negative energy, stuff like that, and a person just walks in, don't say a word, and everybody changes up. That's their light. Understand that when you are shining your light, even when you're not consciously thinking about it, it is so powerful. And you never know. Now, I'm just saying, just walking. Like, say if you are a person and you do YouTube videos, you never know who's looking at you, who's inspired by you. You could be a teacher in a school. I always said, back when I was really interested in politics, I said, when I run for president, hey, I can still do it. You never know. When I run when I was young, I say when I run for president, my main platform will be education. I feel like teachers should be paid a lot more, a whole lot more, because you can have a single teacher, just a single teacher, make it inspiring like generations of students. I've seen it. I can look back at some of my teachers and think about what I'm doing right now, and I can say that particular teacher inspired me this way, this other one inspired me that way. And they weren't trying, they just doing their thing. In fact, I got to shout out my step-grandfather. Technically he was my step-grandfather, but honestly to me, he was just my grandfather. And I remember he used to work as a security officer at the Pentagon. Now, at the time, I thought he was just a regular police officer. I didn't know any better. I didn't notice a gun. I wasn't thinking about it. He had a uniform on. I remember I would go in the bedroom with him while he was putting on his uniform. And I would just sit there. And he wouldn't say anything to me. But he would sit up erect. He'd put his pants on. He would smooth out his pants, smooth out the crease, everything. His shoes were shined and everything. And then, I go out, walk him to his car. He didn't say, hey, you have to do this or anything. It was just watching him. And I thought about that years later. Because anybody who knows me, they know I love the iron. They know. Because he had actually owned the cleaners too. But just following his example. And he realized that he knew I was watching him. He knew I was imitating what he did. All he did was just shine a light. So often, see, one of the things when people are out and about, you have to be cognizant of what you're doing. You don't know who's looking at you. Like one of the things with me, I show very little like negative traits when I'm out and about. Even if I'm mad, feeling a certain way, I work to keep a smile on my face while I'm out. It ain't perfect with it, of course, but I work to, because I don't know who's watching me, who's paying attention to what I'm doing. I remember when I was in college, a freshman year in college, and there was a young man who worked in the cafeteria. And I never forget, he said, I would always see you like reading a book or something. All of a sudden, I started seeing him picking up a book. I'll never forget that. You just never know. A lot of people think, oh, I'm not making a difference. Sometimes just doing a little bit that you're doing and stuff, it can inspire people. Like I think about another woman that I knew, and she worked in this cafeteria of this government facility. And, she didn't have the same education and everything as everyone else. And I ain't going to say she inspired people to want to do that particular job. But one thing I will say, she just had a light to her. Now, she had these powerful men and women who can enact policies that would affect literally millions of people. But yet her energies brought a peace to everyone. Everyone loved her to death. I mean, it was like, you had powerful individuals, some of the individuals you might have seen on the news back in the day. And they just her energy just inspired them just to behave a certain way, just brought peace to them. And that's the light within. That's the light within. So many of y'all have that. It's not important that you like get on, do a video, or it's not important that you get up and speak in front of people or try to do something great. Sometimes that greatness is just being who you are. You just never know. You just never know who you're influencing. That's why I said, when I become president, I might run. I don't know, years from now. But that's why I used to say, I'll say it to this day. Shoot, education should be the best thing. They should be paid. Those teachers do so much because they shine in the light. It could be the guy in the neighborhood who's picking up the trash all the time. He could shine a light. All of you have a light. Just let it shine. You don't know who you touching. It could be that one person, but you know what? Even if you're not feeling your best, but you're still fighting through it. You might touch that young man or woman to say, hey, I need to be a doctor so I can heal people like this. You just never know. You never know. Your light can inspire people. Just allow it to. Just allow it to. All right? So that's all I have for today. I want y'all to think about what I'm saying. Keep rising. Peace and blessings.